Hi, my name is Dakota and this is my YouTube channel. Here's a list of 5 book suggestions for every beginning or seasoned spiritual seeker. I think these books will help you a lot on your journey through life here as a human being. So I went with 5 books that are easy to digest but are still impactful. They still pack a mean punch. They're gonna beat the shit out of you. I do the Vans Warped Tour every year with my clothing company, Stay Happy, Stay Weird, and sometimes people bring me books, and this first book was brought to me by somebody, and it's called Your Illustrated Guide to Becoming One with the Universe. Most of us don't have time to get a stack of books and to lay them on some creaky old wooden table as we try to study from it like some scholar trying to understand the depths of spirituality. So this is a good book to start. So this book is great for anybody that just needs an easy read. It's got the coolest pictures ever in it. It's a really fun way to explore your spirituality without having to have a deep understanding of some of these more esoteric or hard philosophies to grasp. This lays it out really simple for you. Book number 2 is Be Here Now by Ram Dass. Ram Dass was a Harvard professor that dropped out of society and became a spiritual psychedelic yogi. Even though this book is basically the hippie Bible, you don't have to be a hippie to get anything out of this book. This book is the book that turned an entire generation on to Eastern philosophy. Ram Dass in general is just great, and any book that he writes is good, and I will, to my deathbed, recommend Ram Dass as a teacher to anybody that is looking to pursue a spiritual life. Unfortunately, I do not have a physical copy with me, but this is a book that you need to have in your bookshelf, because what better advice is there really than to be here now, to be present, and to be fully aware of the stillness of your being. And this leads us to book suggestion number 3. Be as you are. So now that we are here now, let's be as we are. I tried to find my copy of this so I could show it to you guys, but this book was such a hard hitter for me. This was like the book. If there's any person that I would consider a guru to me, it is Sri Ramana Maharshi. Basically, spiritual seekers like you or me would go visit Bhagavan, Sri Ramana Maharshi. They would go visit him and they would ask him all of these different spiritual questions that all of us fall victim to in life. Well, who am I? Why am I here? So this book is a document of people coming to him and asking him all these different questions and his responses to these questions. So it's written really easy. It's the most easiest format to read. It's written question and answer. And the main teaching of Ramana Maharshi is also taught in this book. It's a meditation technique called self-inquiry. This book has the potential to give you an ego death, which leads us to our next book. This is the book on the taboo against knowing who you are by Alan Watts. Anything that you read by Alan Watts is pretty much guaranteed to be the best thing that you ever read. This book is definitely just as relevant today as it was back when it was written in the 60s. This is a psychedelic journey in book form. It talks about our place in nature and the mysterious experience of being I. The book breaks down the idea that we are a separate, independent, isolated ego trapped in this universe, but instead suggests that we are in fact something much more. This takes us to our last book suggestion, and that is the Bhagavad Gita. This book changed my life. This book is a little bit more advanced, but once you start reading it, 1, you're not going to be able to stop, and 2, you're going to have to shut it after reading some of the verses, because it's just like, it will blow your mind. It's going to shatter your ego into different dimensions. This book is really cool too because it introduces a concept that we're not really familiar to here, and that is the idea of the teacher or the guru. Ram Dass says that a guru is a doorway through which we see truth. Krishna takes on the role as the teacher and as the charioteer for Arjuna, who is about to embark on a crazy war with his own kingdom as it splits up and falls apart. So we get to follow the process of Arjuna as his life is literally deteriorated into having to face his worst fears. Krishna guides him through this experience with poetic ease. As talk about psychedelic experience. I said the last book was a psychedelic experience. This book is literally a metaphor for a deep, if you ever had a really intense psychedelic experience that's given you an ego death, this book is a psychedelic guideline, a map, a metaphor to that experience. This book will do that for you naturally, without any substance, with just the substance of words. This book is higher consciousness on paper. There's truly not a book that I recommend more, and you can pretty much just pick it up and open it wherever and you'll stumble upon something that's That's good. Like, for example, it is said the soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable, and unchangeable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Ah, that's nice, right? You're not the body. Who you are is actually beyond that. So don't worry about the pettiness of your thoughts of, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm this or that. Don't worry, you're beyond that. I'm gonna make an in-depth video just on this book, so be on the lookout for that. I also have a new book of mine that I wrote. It's basically just a collection of little spiritual quotes that you can open the book wherever and just meditate on whatever it is that you open to. So the first 3 people to pre-order that book from my website will get a copy of the Bhagavad Gita along with it. I hope you enjoyed some of these book suggestions. I know if you give these books a chance that you will come out as a spiritual warrior, a light wolf of love. So click subscribe down there. If you want to pre-order my book or buy a t-shirt, you can at stayhappystayweird.com, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All the links will be in the description. Hare Krishna. Good luck on your spiritual journey here through life as a human. See ya.